Hi Chestnuts, I hope you've had a good half term and are looking forward to getting back to your learning. I'm going to be introducing what our spelling rule is for this week, and it's quite a different one than what we've looked at before. We're going to be looking at homophones, and homophones are words which have the same pronunciation but different meanings and or spellings. Now the word homophone comes from, we can split it into two parts. We've got the homo, which means same, and the phone, which means sound. Okay, so just to repeat, they're words that are spelt differently and have different meanings, but they sound the same. I'm going to give you some examples just so you understand what I'm talking about a little bit better. Here we've got a pair and a pair. So you've got P-A-I-R, which is a pair is in terms of two of something, so that's a pair of shoes. And then you've got pear, P-E-A-R, as in the fruit. Another example might be week and week. So notice they sound exactly the same, but they're spelt differently and have different meanings. So the first picture represents maybe someone being a bit frail, not being very strong, whereas the second one represents as in the days of the week. So we've got a calendar there as a picture. So the first thing I want you to do is you're going to watch along to the rest of this video, and I'm going to read some sentences with words missing, and you need to decide which of the homophones fits in the gap. So I'm going to give you two choices, and obviously they're both going to be words that sound the same but are spelt differently and have different meanings. So what I'd suggest is you listen to me read the sentence, then pause the video and have a think about which one goes in the right place, and then we'll work through them together at the end. So the first one says the football match was last night. So if we read it using one of our spellings, it's the football match was great last night. Which meaning and spelling of great is correct? Number 2. My children are all grown up now. Which is the correct spelling of grown? Which meaning works best in this sentence? Because obviously both words are spelt correctly because they are two separate words. The horse's mane was beautiful and long. So which spelling of mane is correct in this context? Where should we meet up tomorrow morning? And finally, it was early morning and the mist was swirling around the boats. So we've looked at 5 different sentences there and 10 different words. Let's go through which ones you chose. So if you're not quite ready yet, pause the video again because I'm now going to be revealing the answers. The correct spelling of great was G-R-E-A-T, which is obviously something being really good. Whereas the other great, G-R-A-T, is like what you do if you were, for example, to grate cheese. Grown, G-R-O-W-N, for grown up. Whereas the other grown is like a noise you might make if you were angry. We then had mane, M-A-N-E, which is the hair, the long hair on a horse, whereas main, M-A-I-N, is like you might have a main course, you might have the main character in a book, you might have the main ingredient in a recipe. For meat, we wanted M-E-E-T, as in when you meet someone, whereas the other meat was in like chicken, beef, lamb, those proteins. And then mist, so we had M-I-S-T, as in when it's a little bit foggy outside in the early morning, whereas the mist with the double S-E-D is like what would happen if you say missed the ball. So those are our 10 spellings that we're going to be looking at this week. We have great, great, grown, grown, main, main, meat, meat, mist, and mist. And what's really important this week, is especially when it comes to the spelling test, is you understanding what all these words mean. So following on from that, what I'd like you to do for your next task is to draw pictures to help you remember which homophone is which. So I've given you an example there for meat and meat. So I've drawn a piece of meat and 2 people shaking hands, which is what you might do if you were to meet someone. So have a look online or in a dictionary to really understand the different meanings and draw some pictures to help explain and understand which is which. I look forward to seeing your work.